Good morning. Welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This over the trees and the buildings to the east, and this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. Good morning, Miss Detroit. Good morning, Charlene from Tennessee. Good morning, KB Fibers. Good morning, DJ. Thank you all for joining me this morning. Good morning, Anne. I'm going to get my yarn out. If anybody else is crafting this morning, please let me know what you're working on. Good morning, Elizabeth. I'm still working on my crochet version of the sampler cowl. Good morning, Ruthie. Good morning, Sarah. Let's see, where am I? There I am. Jenny, yes, it is much warmer here today. Good morning, Evelyn. It's warmer and milder. Good morning, Bendy the Brainer, I think. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Fabiola. Today I have the opportunity, because it's a little bit warmer, to wear some other pieces that I think look really pretty doubled as scarves. I know the other day I was showing you how to style a cardi wrap vest as a scarf, and today I wanted to show you how you can do that with triangular shawls as well. Good morning, Enid from Puerto Rico. Good morning, Tammy. Thank you, Sarah. What I'm wearing as a scarf today, good morning, Elisa. What I'm wearing today is more of a triangular or half circle shawl, but worn as a keyhole scarf. And I was inspired because my shirt has this red stitching on the collar. It's a blue and white shirt, but it has this really pretty red stitch along the collar, and I thought that that meant that a red shawl would be really pretty worn as a scarf. So here's one of the knit half circle or triangular shawls that is a free pattern and video on my website. This is done in one ball of Be So Fine yarn, fingering weight 100% bamboo. And what I like to do with it to make it a scarf is to fold it in half like this, okay? And then I'm going to put my hand through that loop, come around, and loop it through just like you would a keyhole scarf. And then you can fuss with the different layers and the different edges, and you wear it like that. Now I also brought a crochet one for those of you that would prefer to crochet a shawl and wear it as a scarf. Here's a similar one in crochet, not similar, but it's a triangular shawl, and this one is a top-down shawl and has really beautiful little beads, crystal beads on the edging. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one. We're going to fold it in half, put my hand through the fold, wrap it around, and loop it through. Edwin, your package to England arrived already? That's amazing. I feel like I only sent your yarn a couple days ago. So look at how beautiful that edging looks when you wear the shawl as a scarf. I mean, is there a prettier scarf out there than getting to see so much edging? You wouldn't normally have this much edging on a scarf, but by using a shawl that has an incredibly gorgeous edging on it, you get to see so much more of that surface when you can wear a scarf, or wear a shawl as a keyhole scarf. So I'm going to stand up a little bit here so you can see it for scale. How pretty is that? Look at all of that edging. No, Jenny, they're not both crocheted. This one is knit. This is a knit shawl that has a beautiful scalloped edge, and this one is crocheted. They're both one ball projects in Be So Fine yarn, which is my fingering weight bamboo yarn. The yarn comes 650 yards a ball, and it is enough to make either one of these shawls or any number of other shawls. I have tons of one ball project shawls for that yarn on my website. So not only can you wear shawls traditionally as shawls, but you can style them in so many different ways, including wearing them as keyhole scarves, which is a great way to get more uses out of them, especially in colder months. And here comes the sun. Good morning. Hi, Christy. Hi, Melissa. Good morning, Teresa. Oh, Elisa says, I have too many beautiful shawls. It's hard to pick. You've made a few of them, too. Elisa works in the courthouse. I think that she could wear shawls as keyhole scarves when she goes to work. I think anybody that works in a big office building could really get double use out of their shawls if they wore them to the office as keyhole scarves, because they're not too bulky either. You wouldn't get super hot in a bamboo scarf indoors, but it's a beautiful color accessory as well as a little extra warmth. And just volume. I think volume and layers is such a flattering way to style yourself when you leave the house. When I was younger, I didn't think about layers as much, but the older I get, the more I think layers is the way to go. Thank you, Jenny. It's little crystal beads that I put on the end of them. I think they're 4 millimeter. And I just put them in the middle of each petal. You can see in the middle of each of the petal. Sarah agrees about layers. Yeah, a flowy top and a vest, or a jacket, a blazer, a jacket. I think layering is just such a more put together look. Miss Detroit, could I crochet in one of the other yarns? Sure you could. You can use, that's the beauty of shawls also, is because they are not sized garments, you could actually make any shawl in any weight yarn. You just have to adjust for the amount of yarn that it will take to make something and how many repeats you will need to do of it. You may need to do more or less if you go up or down in yarn size, which will then be going up or down in needle and hook size as well. Hope that makes sense. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Did anybody get a chance to watch the quick tip video that I posted yesterday? Oh, Christy must have said she has to go. A lot of people are saying goodbye to Christy. Bye, Christy. Lori did watch it. Good. I had this aha moment in the grocery store yesterday because I had gotten a question, and it's a question I get an awful lot, but I got a question the other day. Why can one of my yarns be 650 yards, but one of them only 247 yards, and yet they're both 4 ounces? And she even went so far to say did I make a mistake on the labeling? And I thought, what's the best way to explain it to somebody? And when you're teaching, you have to find good visuals so that people can wrap their heads around a concept that they don't already understand. And I thought, what is something that is common knowledge that has similarities that would be a good example for why yarn can have different weights within the same volume of weight? And I was going down the pasta aisle and I saw angel hair and fettuccine in 1 pound boxes, and I thought, aha, there you go. So I did a quick little video yesterday, little quick tip on explaining that. And I think in one of my next ones, oh, thank you, Tammy, I'm glad you enjoyed it. In one of my next ones, I think I'm going to show, or let's see, I'll ask you guys first. Does anybody here already know how to wind a ball by hand? You know, when you wind yarn into a ball so it's round, not caked like on a yarn winder. Do you know how to wind in a ball and still maintain a center pull? It's a really cool technique that I'm not sure everybody knows how to do. And if there are enough people that say no, they don't know this morning, then I think I might make a video for it. I have a feeling that some people will know, but not everybody. And it's a really fun little tidbit to have in your arsenal of tricks because you don't always have access. Okay, enough people have said no. Okay, I think that's gonna be the next quick tip. Okay, great, I'm so glad. I'm not glad that you don't know, but I'm glad that you're going to know really soon. Yes, KB, I prefer my yarn winder too. It's much quicker. However, in a pinch, you don't always have that available. So I think it's just a great skill to have in your bag of tricks. Good morning, Mary. Glad you could join me this morning. Okay, wonderful. I'm so glad to hear there's enough people that need this skill that I can share it with you. So that will be one of my next quick tips. And sooner than later, I want to do one showing you how to wind yarn from the back of 2 chairs, but I haven't found chairs that work well yet. We've got some pelicans out here today. Oh, and some birds. Let's see, I'm getting shadow again. Yeah, the waves are really calm this morning. Man, I'm having a mess with my camera. Sorry, guys. It is beautiful here. I'll show you what it looks like around the whole beach. We'll go to the south first. It's very calm this morning. A little cloudy, but very calm. See, there's where the sun's just starting to come up over the buildings and the trees. And then we have to the south, not a whole lot of people. The water. And then to the north, got a few people down there too, but not too many. Oh, Phil saw his shadow, huh? I forgot, today's Groundhog Day. That's right. Yeah, the sky is really beautiful. Little different. It doesn't matter how often you come here. Every day is different at the beach. Oh, we've got a little fish jumping. Not so little, it's about this big. Yeah, lots of silvery gray tones this morning. Lots of clouds. Oh, hi Nancy. Hi Jean. Jean just learned how to do the live chat. That's awesome. I'm so glad you figured it out. That's great. It's so fun to be able to talk with everyone here. Robin has a cup of coffee. I have peach green tea with some fresh lemon juice this morning. Speaking of which, I'm working on, well, as you know, I'm working on book 14 that's about to come out very, very soon, but I'm also working on book 15. And book 15, the projects are almost done, so it's time for the next step of production and figuring all that stuff out. And part of this book is the photo shoot is going to involve something completely different in book 15 than it involved in book 14. And there's going to be, I think there's going to be a party going on in the background in the photo shoot. And so I'm trying to develop recipes for that party. And yesterday I was working on a punch recipe for the party, and it involved having to make lavender simple syrup. And I have seen recipes for lavender lemonade for years and thought, that sounds so interesting. I wonder if it's any good. Oh my goodness. I didn't know what to expect. I was worried it was going to be too strong. I wasn't sure it was an elixir. It was so incredibly delicious. Obviously it was sweet, but not too sweet. It had that delicate flavor of lavender, but not overpowering. I'm sold. I think it's going to be amazing. And it just so happened that I ran into a friend yesterday at the grocery store whose husband is working on a all plant-based diet right now. So when I make new plant-based recipes, I usually send a batch over to her and her husband to try out. And I was telling her about my meatless ground beef recipe that I shared yesterday, and then I was also telling her about the lavender lemonade that I was working on, and she said, put your lemons and limes back. I have cases of them at my house, and they're about to go bad if someone doesn't use them right away. So I said, okay, deal. I will bring you some meatless ground meat, I don't know what to call it, and trade you for the lemons and limes. So I came home with 20 lemons and limes each and had to juice them yesterday. Wow, what a workout. I have one of those hand press ones. Should have used my vintage one on the counter, but didn't. Anyway, juiced all of them, and I plan on freezing most of the juice until the party day when I make the biggest batch. Mincemeat, maybe that is a good word for it. Okay, that's not bad. And so that recipe is really interesting because I find that a lot of the meatless options in the store are still highly processed, so it takes away from some of the benefits of eating a plant-based diet. You still have a larger carbon footprint if you're using processed foods, and you're still eating some sort of chemical and still not completely sure of the source of your foods. So I thought it was important to try to come up with a completely plant-based one. Roberta, it's not warm by most people's standards, but there are people that are training for any number of sporting activities that means that they're okay for swimming. I could not swim in this weather, but there are a couple people always here swimming. Yes, Kimberly, it's very calm here. So my recipe for the meatless crumble has a base of cauliflower, walnuts, sun-dried tomatoes, garlic, onions, carrots, and spices, and it actually crumbled after a long time roasting in the oven and actually worked really well for a crumbly ground meat base in other dishes. So last night I ended up making little bite-sized taco cups and made my homemade pico de gallo sauce, which is amazing. I've learned from so many different women here in South Florida, different versions of it. I've watched women make it who are Cuban, Colombian, Venezuelan, Guatemalan, and so I've taken what I like from each of their recipes to make my own that I love, and I shared that yesterday on my blog as well. So I'll post links for all of that in my video description today for anybody interested. I'll also post links for the shawls we talked about today. The shawls I showed you how to make in keyhole scarf style. So this is the razor shell shawl. So for anybody who is interested in hopping over there now, before I post the links, you can search for this on my website. It's called the razor shell shawl, and that's one ball of Be So Fine yarn in color $1 Million Red. And this one is called the Molten Lava crochet shawl, and this uses one ball of Be So Fine yarn in colorway Parisian Bordeaux. Jenny asked if I'm going to have recipes in the next book. No, I think the recipes will still just be on my website, but they will be shared when the book comes out. Oops! Look at that! I lost an earring that was even closed behind my ear. I'm having earring trouble for a while lately, haven't I? Hi Edna, good morning. Thanks for joining. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Tammy wants to make one. Yeah, please feel welcome. The patterns for both of these shawls are on my website. I also have video tutorials for both of them. So whether you like charts, line by line instructions, or video help, I have a little bit of everything for both of these. Hi Jenny, yeah, I would like to be able to combine that too. I haven't figured out the right theme yet for combining cooking with knitting and crochet. I think it would be a really fun, it's been a really fun concept going on in my head for many, many years. I just haven't found the right theme. It hasn't been the right time yet, I guess. But I would definitely like to do a cookbook combining knitting and crochet and cooking one day. I think that would be really fun. Linda likes the Santabella shawl. Yeah, that's a really pretty one too. That one uses a different weight yarn. Be So Sporty is sport weight, but you could definitely substitute Be So Fine yarn for that. shawl, it would just be a finer fabric like this. I think it'd be absolutely stunning. In fact, I wouldn't mind making one myself. The size of the yarn, this is fingering weight yarn. It's a #1 fingering weight. This particular yarn is 650 yards per 4-ounce ball, and you only need 1 ball to make this. And I'll post links to all of that in the show notes today. Sarah, I wear a jean jacket all the time, and when I'm not wearing a jean jacket, when it gets warm enough in the summer, I end up wearing a jean vest most of the time. I love denim so much. I love cotton, love denim. Bye, fairy dust bunnies. Thanks for joining. Will you train today? At Home with Kristin. Nancy, I like that. That is a fun title. Yeah, I think there's so many different ideas. Edna, I think it is going to rain today. Yeah, it certainly looks like it. I don't often follow the weather reports though. Sarah's an 80s girl too. Yeah, even I think the French braids are kind of 80s. I remember my mom doing this for my hair when I was a little girl. I've loved braids my whole life. Just haven't always had long enough hair to do a lot of braids. In fact, I've only known how to do one French braid for many years. It's only this year that I finally learned how to do 2 French braids on my head. Oh, but I don't watch the weather report because I don't mind the rain. So even for us at Yarn on the Beach, we always have the the rain backup of going to the pavilion. And the only time I really watch the weather is when Marlon's in a tournament, because we get so delayed. Jenny wants to know if the scarf I'm wearing would be tough to make because she's new to crochet. Well, Jenny, all I can say is that I have not only the line by line and charts available on the website, but I do have video tutorials on the project too. So I would really suggest that you watch the videos, and if you think that you can play and pause through them and work through all of it at your pace and at your convenience, I don't see why you couldn't try. Good morning, Sweet Potato Muffin. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like my things. Thank you, Lori. That's so sweet. She said that I make learning easy. That's awesome. I love teaching and I love empowering people to try something new. Good morning, Karen from the Philippines. Yes, the waves are very relaxing. It's so pretty this morning. Roberta wants to know what the name of my website is. It's the same as my name. It's KristinOmdahl.com. KristinOmdahl.com. There'll be links to it in the show notes when I update the video description later. Do you ever catch yourself counting something and then immediately forgetting? No, Edna, I don't have a crochet version of the Kimmy top right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, one more 10. I probably won't come back to thinking about that until I work on a book of top-down sweaters, which is not in the far future, but it's not on deck right now. Ashley counts and immediately forgets. I know, it's embarrassing, but it's fun to know it's not just you, right? Linda says she does it all the time too. Okay, good. Then I'm in good company. Well, I already knew that. But, oh, we are really coming along here. Look at this. We've got some serious length going on here. This one actually might end up being longer than the other one for some reason, which is strange. Crochet isn't usually bigger than knitting, but I think what's going to be awesome, I missed a comment about the celebration poncho, so if you could repeat that, I'd appreciate it. This one might work as an infinity loop scarf that you can double. And if you can double something that's striped like this, you're gonna see so much more pop of color around your face. I'm super excited to see if that's gonna work out the way I want it to. That's the fun in designing. When you're designing, you're doing a mystery crochet or knit along all the time. As you're working, you have no idea what the finished thing's gonna look like. And there's a lot of excitement in that. Sarah, I definitely have an opinion on weaving in ends, and there are different ways to do it depending on the thickness of the yarn and the structure of the stitches. That could probably make some great quick tip videos too. Oh, Kimberly sent a request. Great. I try to go to Create, Share, Inspire group, our group on Facebook, several times a day to make sure that I'm approving people. I think I checked this morning before I left, so if you did it just now, I will definitely approve it as soon as I can. Jenny uses an app. Yeah, any suggestions you have for quick tip videos, please share them with me. I started a whole playlist for it last night on my YouTube channel, and I'd love to really add some more content to it. They're fun to make. They're the things that really make a difference in your whole experience in knitting and crocheting. They're the things that you don't learn reading a pattern. So I really think that they're an important element to learning the process of knitting and crocheting. So I really want to add a whole lot more to it. So I'll think of ideas, but if you want to make suggestions too, I am absolutely open to hearing your thoughts on it. So any ideas you think you might have for quick tips or little things that you have questions about, just shoot them to me in the comments and see if we can get them on the list of quick tip videos. Good morning, Annie. Thanks for joining us. I think today's Friday, so we'll meet again here Saturday morning. And I'm thinking about doing a field trip tomorrow morning. Thinking about leaving a little early, or see if I can swing things and get moving a little bit early, or end up being here a few minutes late. I want to get to a different beach tomorrow morning. Oh, correct way to change color. Yep, there's a couple of options on that, and there are some choices on that too. That's a good idea. Good morning, Bianca. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we're about to come to a close for Friday's episode of Yarn on the Beach. Let's take a minute here to soak in this beautiful scene. Listen to those waves. Can you believe those pelicans don't actually touch the water with their wings and get so close? We're looking for breakfast. Maybe. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy days to join me here this morning. I hope you have found some relaxation and peace with this beautiful scenery and the sounds of the waves. I've enjoyed chatting with you so much. Thank you for all your questions and your conversation. Hey Lucas, good morning. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.